project got too well.
Yeah, but it's like the southern part of the village.
I call this meeting of Central Florida Toastmasters Club 9958 to order. Thank you all for being here tonight. For all our guests, the restrooms are out of this door. You'll go straight. The first opening, make a left and go all the way down, and it'll be on the right-hand side, both the man and the ladies' restroom. If you have phones or other electronic devices, please shut them down now. At Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Through this mission, each Toastmaster gains a clear understanding of the club's purpose, and the organization as a whole benefits from a shared set of values and goals. We are called facilitators for 3 reasons. We are sponsored by the Central Florida chapter of the American Society of Training and Development, and the premier organization for professional facilitators. A good facilitator needs to be a strong communicator and effective leader, and Toastmasters is all about communication and leadership. To facilitate means to make things easy and possible. I want to make things as possible for you tonight. For our thought and pledge, please help me welcome Michelle Detlef.
Our thought this evening is a quote from Arthur Ashe. If you're not familiar with him, he was a top-ranked tennis player in the 60s and 70s, raised in the segregated South, and was the first African-American male tennis player to win a Grand Slam tournament. And his words are, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And I'd like to send that out to our participants tonight, our contestants. You can please stand and face our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And let's welcome our contest master this evening. Contest chair, Mark Lofrey.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm so glad to be here tonight to be part of this Toastmasters tradition. I know a couple of you are only here for the food tonight, but we do have other things going on, mainly the International Speech and Table Topics Contest. And we do this every year leading up to our spring district conference. So why do we do these competitions? Yes, it's required, and yes, we have food, but more importantly, competition is healthy. It gives us the opportunity to grow and to become better speakers. If there is any person out there who has become a worse speaker from competing, I haven't met him. It's also a great way to get yourself known outside of your immediate club family. As you advance through the other levels, you meet new people, you make new friends, and you get more food. I'm excited for tonight's competition, so let me bring to the lectern a true veteran when it comes to being a contest master. I believe this might be a hat trick for Toni, as she is very comfortable in this role. Please welcome tonight our contest master, Toni Gittles.
Hi, I'm Toni Gittles, and you're not. What'd you say, Mark? Oh, it's not the humorous speech contest?
No.
Oh, but I have this captive audience, and I've always wanted to say that. And it's like 40 years of SNL. Live from Altamont, topics contest will be first, followed by the international speech contest. I wasn't listening to you, so I don't know if you said my first line. So I'm going to say it
No,
again.
I didn't say it.
You didn't say my first line? Thanks. The purpose of the Table Topics contest are to provide an opportunity to learn by observing the more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training, to encourage development of impromptu and extemporaneous speaking skills, and to recognize the best as encouragement to all. In the interest of time, we will conduct this contest using the same procedures Toastmasters International uses in conducting the contest. The contestants, have you been informed of the location of the timing lights? Right back there. You're now informed. The speaking area is the entire room. Why not? There will be no photography during the contest. Stephen, are you photographing?
No,
No.
video's running.
The video's running. Oh, that's not
I
photography.
hear it.
The sergeant at arms are instructed to close the doors, they're closed, and not admit anyone while the speakers are giving their presentations. Please turn off your cell phones and pagers for the duration of the contest. Timer, Ms. Gloria, please make a check of the timing lights so I can see that they are working and the contestants can see. Green light, yellow light, red light. Thank you very much. The contestants have drawn their speaking positions. And the order is Stephen Morgan, number 1. Number 2, Linda Earls. Number 3, Julian Koto, who is not on the program, but is a contestant this evening. John Dunn is not competing in the Table Topics contest. All contestants will be given the same topic, and when the contest begins, the sergeant at arms will escort all contestants except for Stephen to a waiting room. The topic is then read to the first contestant, who will speak on the topic for approximately 2 minutes. There will always be a minute of silence between contestants so that the judges can mark their ballots. During that time, you may quietly enter or leave the room, but please do not talk during this time. At the conclusion of the contest, the ballot counters will collect the judges' ballots. The timers will deliver their reports to the chief judge. At this time, I introduce our chief judge, James Riggs, to review a few more of the contest rules.
Thank you, Madam Contest Master. All judges and functionaries have been briefed on the contest rules and standards. All contestants eligible to compete must be in good standing with the Central Florida Facilitators, and this Central Florida Facilitators Club must also be in good standing. When the contest begins, all contestants except the first will leave the room. All contestants will receive the same topic. The contest chair will introduce each contestant with the name, the topic, the name. Table topic speeches are 2 minutes long. Contestants who speak less than 1 minute or move more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds will be disqualified. Timing will begin with the contestant's first definite verbal or nonverbal communication with the audience. The green light will be displayed at 1 minute and remain on for 30 seconds. The amber light will be displayed at 1 minute and 30 seconds and remain on for 30 seconds. And the red light will be turned on at 2 minutes and remain on until the table topic is concluded. Backup cards will be issued in case there's a failure of the lights. If we could show them, we have green, yellow, and red, just like the light system. Prior to announcing the results, the contest chair will announce if a timed disqualification occurred, but not the name of the contestant involved. Protests will be limited to judges and contestants, and any protest will be lodged with a chief judge or contest chair prior to the announcement of the winner. Thank you, Madam Contest Master.
Thank you. Are the timers ready? Sergeant at Arms, please escort all contestants except for our first contestant, Stephen Morgan, to the bar, whatever you're going to do with them.
Don't take them to the bar.
Take them out. Yeah, well, we will observe 1 minute of silence before the table topics speech contest begin. Timer, please let me know after a minute. Thank you, Madam Timer. Madams? Timers? Madams? The first contestant, Stephen Morgan. You have been invited by NASA to join the next space shuttle mission to Mars. Why are you going and what do you expect to learn? You've been invited by NASA to join the next space shuttle mission to Mars. Why are you going and what do you expect to learn? Stephen Morgan.
Have you ever wanted to have your name etched into a place in history where then all the people that would follow would know your name? We do know some of those names. In NASA's case, Neil Armstrong. Okay, can anyone name another astronaut after Neil Armstrong? At least those who are younger than you. What often happens is those who are first are the ones you know, or at least those who first get the notoriety. Say Christopher Columbus discovering America. Well, he wasn't the first to discover America. We've known the Vikings found it hundreds of years before he did, but it's the name we know. His name has been etched in history, much as Neil Armstrong's has been etched in history. And I've always had the desire to want to be known. I keep doing all the contests. Obviously, I want to be known, right? And I'd love to see my name etched in. That's why I keep all the trophies around until my wife has to throw them in the garage because there's no more room for them. But why go to Mars? There actually is a private company doing this, and they're down to their last 100 that they're going to choose. Which is fascinating because you've got to assume this is a one-way trip, and you're not going to have enough supplies to survive. It is literally a suicide mission. But to get your name put there, to do something that no one else has done. It's pretty much the same reason that Columbus got on the ship, went out and decided to go exploring beyond where anyone had ever known, with the very possibility you may not survive. But there also was the possibility you might succeed at something extraordinary. This is why I tell people to go and do the contests. Get up and do it. As I've said, the worst you can do is win. Okay, you can beat me, and kind of be depressing for me a little bit. No, not really. I love having the competition because it makes me better. And I love having the opportunity to do new things, to learn them, to grow and to expand. So if you haven't gotten up here yet, you better be up here before the month is out. It's your own club. Madam Contest Master.
Madam Timer, 1 minute on the clock, 1 minute of silence, please, while the judges mark their ballots. Red light is on. Thank you. The second contestant, Linda Earls. You have been invited by NASA to join the next space shuttle mission to Mars. Why are you going, and what do you expect to learn? You have been invited by NASA to join the next space shuttle mission to Mars. Why are you going, and what do you expect to learn? Linda Earls.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mission to Mars is to learn about bone density and if you can keep your muscles and your mind intact through a short mission. That's my mission to Mars. And it will start in the normal way, preparing yourself physically. And I'll have to start now to be ready for 2020. By that time, I should be in peak physical condition. And as the first woman to Mars, or the first human being to Mars, I will be ushered into a complete physical examination to make sure that my bone density is at a normal state and all my physical aspects are normal. And then we're going to see if I can be up there for an extended length of time, maybe 1 month. I'm not sure, they haven't decided. By that time, the technical expertise may be even better and I can stay 3 months, but that will all come in time. And we'll find out if my mind stays fit and active and sane, hopefully, through the whole period of the 1 month, and see just how people can eventually live on Mars. If we continue to wreck this planet, we'll have somewhere to escape to. Would be an excellent idea, and they will examine me at the end, and if I've not left behind maybe 10%, they'll consider my mission a success. But I've only lost 10% of my mental, physical aspects, and you could probably get by with that. Thank you so much.
We have a timer, 1 minute. 1 minute of silence, please, while the judges mark their ballots. Thank you. The third contestant, Julian Koto. You have been invited by NASA to join the next space shuttle mission to Mars. Why are you going, and what do you expect to learn? You have been invited by NASA to join the next space shuttle mission to Mars. Why are you going, and what do you expect to learn? Julian Koto.
Ever since I read the book, Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars, I have longed to go back to Mars so I can learn about women. Being married 30 years hasn't helped me at all. Jonathan, it seems like the more I try, the harder it gets, Paul. You know what I'm talking about. I thought I understood my wife. But no, when I think I've got it figured out, she makes me wrong. For instance, things are always in their place, right? The sugar, where is it, honey? It's in its place. The problem is, the place keeps changing. It's under the sink. Then it's up here in the cupboard. It's like I never know where anything is at. That's why I love to go to Mars, because I've been told from reading the Martian Chronicles that the answer to understanding my Venetian mate is to be found in Mars. And I just can't wait to get in that rocket ship and spend 6 months traveling to my original planet Mars so I can find out all about my wife, Madam Puppets Master.
Timer's 2 minutes on the timing lights. The judges are instructed to complete their ballots. Be sure to sign them. The ballot counters will be around to collect them. And the timers, you then deliver your report to the chief judge. Thank you, Madam Timer. Let's hear a round of applause for our Since it takes a little bit of time for the ballots to be counted, let's have Stephen, Linda, and Julian by my side. Oh. Stephen is well known to our club, not quite a founding member, but almost. It's been 11 years, and as he indicated, or as was indicated, he's been in a lot of contests. So we know you pretty well. So tell us something we don't know about you.
Might have to turn the video off.
Okay, turn the video off.
Well, usually the question that gets tossed out is they write hypnosis on there. People don't find that most fascinating, but as I said, that was the most. The other part people don't catch on to is my history with singing and occasionally in times writing songs. Because I don't get much opportunity to showcase that too much. I do vocal variety all over the place, but not actual singing. Few people have had the chance to hear it, but it can come in handy in certain places, as my wife can attest, since that's what managed for me to capture her in there. Taking one of the songs I've written, I can sit down at the piano and play and sing it, but doing it in the middle of a crowded hotel lobby, you can get a lot of confidence from having the opportunity to make a fool of yourself in front of crowds. You have no problem getting up and taking the chance to make a fool of yourself. And look what it can get you in the end.
So I'm not usual Toastmaster? Well, I just was going to respond to Stephen's comment that we usually read from here in the profile and ask a question. Now that I'm 65, I have certain privileges that many of you don't have. And anything I do inappropriate or wrong, write it down as beginning dementia. Linda Earls, you have some exciting things going on in your life.
Yes.
Pick one.
Well, I'm moving
Step forward.
I'm moving to the great state of Alabama in a few weeks, and I've gotten folks to come to my house and tell me how much it's going to cost to put all my stuff into a van and things like that, and I've gone through and crated out boxes and boxes of stuff that I never should have held on to in the first place, which is especially painful for me. I'm much of a pack rat, and just getting rid of a cookbook that I haven't looked at for 10 years is like ripping it off a body part, you know, it's really difficult. So this is a growing and learning experience. But the one thing I notice about anytime you take a box of stuff out of your house, you never miss it. It just goes away, you don't dust it anymore, you don't worry about it anymore, and it's just gone. And it's wonderful, and you feel a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. So I think this is a good thing for me. And I've already moved from upstate New York down to Florida 15 years ago. So if I just keep moving around, that solves the whole pack rat problem. I just have to purge every 15 years and I'll be good.
Thank you, Linda. Julian Cotto showed up at the last minute and said, I'm in the contest. Tell me about that.
Why did I show up at the last minute and decide I was in the contest? Actually, I didn't decide to be in the contest at the last minute. However, I haven't been reading my emails lately. I've taken a sabbatical from my home computer. So I get the plethora of emails from Toastmasters. Anybody, I mean, does anybody have the same experience? It's like every day.
Oh, yeah.
I just give up. I just delete them once a week. Leave them. So your email, unfortunately, I'm like a big picture kind of person, and all this detail just drives me crazy. So I just kind of forgot. I did think about you many times. I just forgot to let you know that I was going to be in the contest. And I also was going to be in the speech contest, but work got in the way. I didn't have time to prepare, so at least I made it to the Table Topics contest.
Thank you. Oh, wait. While you're here, wait a minute. I am going to give you your speech contest certification of participation. I know you love these. Probably goes right into the trash. The trophies. Maybe you want to start throwing those out now. And Julian.
Mine says Jonathan Dunn.
So, a word of advice to all of you. Start preparing for next year's contest tonight about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We are about ready to take a break. The awards for the Table Topics contest will not occur until at the very end when we present all of the awards. I want to introduce Lynn Ayers to you. Lynn Ayers is selling raffle tickets for 50/50. So we get 50 and the winner gets to take home 50% of the take. So start filling that up with money.
What? How much do you think?
Well, they're They're whatever Lynn says they are.
$10 per ticket.
All right, $1
$1 per
ticket.
ticket, or 5
for 5 for 7.
6 for $5. I'm sorry, 6 for $5. Or $1.
Hey, they better buy them from Toni.
7 for $5. A little encouragement. We are going to have a 10-minute break. Timers, please set the timer for 10 minutes and give us a 2-minute warning to our Sergeant at Arms so he can collect the group. Thank you. It's break time.
All right, excellent.
Okay, please take your seats.
Call to order again, please. Have your seats. Thank you. To continue on with our international speech contest, please help me welcome back Toni Giddles, our contest master.
I don't have a funny opening. The purposes of the International Speech Contest are to provide an opportunity for speakers to improve their speaking abilities, to recognize the best as encouragement to all, and to provide an opportunity to learn by observing the more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training. In the interest of time, we'll conduct the contest using the same procedure as Toastmasters International uses. The judges, contestants, functionaries, and sergeant-at-arms have been fully briefed on their roles. The contestants have been informed of the location of the timing lights. There will be no flash photography during the contest. The sergeant-at-arms are instructed to close the doors and not admit anyone while the speakers are giving their presentations. Please turn off your cell phones and pagers for the duration of this contest. Timers, please make a last check of the timing lights. Thank you. Protests are limited to judges and contestants. The decisions of the judges is final. Announcement of the results is final. The contestants have drawn their speaking positions, and the order is 1, Jonathan Dunn, 2, Stephen Morgan. Contestants are permitted to remain in the room for this contest. There will be 1 minute of silence between contestants for the judges to mark their ballots. During that time, you may quietly enter or leave the room. Please do not, however, talk during that time. At the conclusion of the contest, the ballot counters will collect the judges' ballots, and the timers will deliver their reports to the chief judge. Welcome back, James Briggs, to review some of the contest rules.
Thank you. For this segment, all contestants must have completed at least 6 manual speeches in the Communication and Leadership Program manual prior to this contest. The contestants may remain in the room as you stated through the duration of the contest. The subject for the prepared speech shall be selected by the contestant. Contestants must prepare their own speeches, which must be substantially original and certified as such to the chief judge. And I do have those certifications. The contest chair will introduce each contestant by announcing the contestant's name, the speech title, then again the name. Speeches shall be from 5 to 7 minutes in length. Contestants who speak less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds or more than 7 minutes and 30 seconds will be disqualified. Timing will begin with the contestant's first definite verbal or nonverbal communication with the audience. The green light will be displayed at 5 minutes and remain on for 1 minute. The amber light at 6 minutes and again remain on for 1 minute. And the red light will be turned on at 7 minutes and remain on until the speech is concluded. We again have the backup cards that we discussed during the table topics portion. Prior to announcing the test results, the contest chair will announce if there is any time disqualification that has occurred, but the name of the contestant will not be involved. Madam Contest Master.
We will observe 1 minute of silence before the first speech.
One minute.
Thank you. No. Our first contestant, Jonathan Dunn. Who rescued whom? Who rescued whom? Jonathan Dunn.
If you had told me a few years back, hey, John, you're going to discover your life's purpose from a dog, I would have told you that you're crazy! Except I'm literally sitting on my back porch in the summer of 2012, leading this amazing, and I mean amazing, materialistic lifestyle. I'll admit, kind of being a spoiled brat, I'm sitting there drinking coffee that had literally been flown in from Savannah, Georgia, going, there's something missing from my life. And as I'm thinking that, I'm reflecting back on my childhood, and I lived on a nature preserve. There's a deer bounding across the backyard, and I go, that's it. I need man's best friend. And better yet, I need to rescue a little pup. 30 minutes later, I'm on the computer doing a Google search of rescue organizations, and I am staring at this beautiful little pup. Let me describe her to you. She was maybe this big, maybe weighed 5 pounds, had these beautiful, and I mean beautiful, brown eyes that just were piercing back at me through the screen. And I thought, I need this dog. I need this dog. I arranged to meet her the very next morning, which was on a Saturday. I step inside the foster mom's house. She invites me to have a seat on the couch. Sit down. Her name was Susan. She was a relocated hairstylist from New York City. I knew Pat was going to laugh. She was loud. She asked, Mr. Dunn, have a seat there on the couch, and I want you to hold your arm out. That dog is going to come into the room, and she's going to use her doggy discernment. And she's going to decide if you're a good fit. And I sit there, and my arm is out. And into the room, she comes, and she's shaking. And she's not walking. She's crawling. Her ears are down. Her tail is down. She's in a very scared position. And her name is Chi-Chi. And I held my arm out, as I said, and Chi-Chi came up to me. And she rolled over onto her back. And she had an accident on herself. The foster mom said, Mr. Dunn, Chi-Chi has been abused and neglected her whole life. She saw the tears streaming down my face. She said, you'd be a great fit, Mr. Dunn. I can see you're a sensitive man. And you can adopt her on one condition and one condition only. She's been abused. She's going to have some behaviors that are very suspect. And she told me, you can adopt her on one condition and one condition only. All you can do is give
her love. I can follow one instruction quite well. I gathered up Chi-Chi in her carrying case. She had a carrying case because she felt safe in the carrying case. And we went right over to Petco. And I went on a crazy display of love with Chi-Chi. I got her an awesome bed that, heck, I would have rather slept in it. I got her organic dog biscuits. I got her a trip to the groomer. I showed that dog every bit of love that I possibly could, starting that day and moving forward the next several months. And it was awesome because when I gave Chi-Chi love, I wasn't inside my own head. And I was in a very happy place. And my happy place was diminishing because while all this was going on, I was helping a loved one fight a battle with substance abuse. And it was a battle that would be lost. And it was a battle that would see me moved away from that drain house and into a new apartment where I had to sneak Chi-Chi in her carrying case. And every morning I had to sneak her out of the apartment because I couldn't afford to pay the pet deposit. And I tell you what, I was in the same place as that dog. And it was a very black place. And let me tell you, all that love I showed Chi-Chi, here's what she gave me in return. She'd shake, she'd roll over, and she'd have an accident on herself every morning. Chi-Chi was blind. And I don't mean she was physically blind. She was blind to the love I was trying to give her because she had had so much pain in her life. And I was right there with her. And it was getting harder and harder to show her the love that I had promised. And on my 40th birthday, everything would come to a head. I was in a very dark place. And I went to get Chi-Chi that morning. She was shaking as usual. And she must have sensed how depressed I was. And she had her normal accident on herself. And then she had another accident on herself of the second variety. And I wanted to pull my hair out. I made the decision right then and there I was going to get to work and I was going to call the foster mom up and I was going to condemn Chi-Chi back to a life of foster care. And I heard the foster mom tell me, "You got to promise me, Mr. Dunn, all you can do is give her love." And a light bulb kind of went off. And I remembered when I gave her love, I didn't think about my own pain so much. So the decision was made that when I got to work, I was going to give her love. Except when I got in the door, my emotions got the best of me, and I just collapsed to the floor, and I cried. And when I say cry, I wailed that morning, and I was paralyzed. And it was like a chore getting over to her carrying case. And I got it unzipped, and something miraculous happened. Chi-Chi jumped out of her cage, and she attacked my face with her tongue. Chi-Chi had become whole. She gave me so much love, she lifted me up off the floor so high I could have stood on a mountaintop. Which begged the question, who rescued whom? Fellow Toastmasters, in the immortal words of Susan, all you can do is give love, and we will all be rescued.
Madam Contest Master.
Timers will have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots.
1 minute.
Thank you. Our second contestant, Stephen Morgan, the magic pen. The magic pen. Stephen Morgan.
Daddy, will you sign my field trip permission report for me, please? Here's the pen. Of course, princess, sure. Ooh, planetarium, love that, it's always fun. But this pen isn't working. Look, Daddy, a magic pen! Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, everyone who's been a victim of a practical joke, how would you turn this into a lesson to remember, an inspiration for success? No, dear, this is a joke pen. This is the magic pen. And it's high time I told you its story. See, when my great-grandpa Pietro came to America as a young man, he had nothing but the clothes on his back. But because of his infectious enthusiasm, his immigration officer took a liking to him. The officer helped him fill out his immigration forms and gave him this magic pen. The secret, the officer said, is to decide what you want, then write it down. 15 times a day, every day. I've been writing, I'm a profitable artist, and now I get to retire today at age 33, all because of this magic pen. Well, great-grandpa took that pen, and with it he wrote, I'm a respected writer, 15 times a day, every day. Within 9 months, he was leading journalist for the local paper. In 3 years, he was editing that paper. When Pietro retired as the part owner, he was the leading journalist in the city, the most respected. And then he passed the magic pen on to his daughter, my grandma. My grandma, she used the pen to find adventure all around the world. So of course, when she gave it to my father, he decided to use it to stay put and build a family and a community. And my father gave it to me, and now I give it to you. My daughter's eyes were wide. Can it make me rich? Well, yes, it can. But perhaps you should use it first to improve your math skills so that you'll know when you're rich. And so she did. My daughter took the magic pen and she wrote, I love math. And I know math better than anyone I know. 15 times a day, every day. 6 months ago, she was barely passing algebra. Now she's the top student in the school. Last week, she asked me about calculus. My own daughter is going to outmath me. But then, her world was shattered. Daddy, broke the magic pen, and Mommy says you don't have a great grandpa Pietro. Calm down, dear. I have another pen right here just for you. That one's not magic. You're right. It's not. And you know what? Neither was that one. Yeah, I made the whole story up. You know why? Because if I told you I got the idea from a book, you would have rolled your eyes and blown me off. Exactly like you're doing right now. But a story grabs your attention. A story teaches you a lesson. A story you remember. And you remember that story. You took it to heart. But I get it. You want the real story. Fine. Here's the real story. My story. Yes, let's see. I am a professional hypnotist. I wrote this 15 times a day, every day. 3 months later, I had my first paying client. Let's see. I am healthy, fit, emotionally balanced, and sexually satisfied. I wrote that 15 times a day, every day. 5 months later, I found your mother. Oh, yes. And that reminds me. Yeah, this'll do. I'm a world champion public speaker. But now you have your story, from struggling student to math whiz. So how do you explain all this? Magic? Yes, but it's not the magic of the pen. You didn't notice, but I did. Instead of skipping stairs, you started to count them. Rather than watch television, you would choose to play Sudoku. When we're at the store, you're calculating the tax before we even get to the register. You started thinking math. You started noticing math. You started liking math. Not because of the pen, but because you used the pen to tell yourself what you wanted 15 times a day, every day. And in 6 short months, you've gone from the bottom of your class to the top. Daddy, 6 months is not short! My point, dear, is that it doesn't take any extra effort. All it takes is time. So my daughter thought about it a bit, and she then asked me, well, so does that mean any pen will do? Yes, dear. Any pen will do. Well, do you have another? Because you don't told that one. I already told you, Princess, I have another pen right here just for you. Thank you, Daddy. Did I mention she gets her sense of humor from me? Madam Contest Master.
I'll meet the fire marshal.
We'll have 2 minutes of silence, and I really hate asking Toastmasters not to talk. It's in the rule book. Judges, please complete your ballots. Please sign them, and the ballot counters will come by and pick them up. Oh, those ones. Let's have a big round of applause for Stephen, Jonathan, stand by me. It's working, all right. Just forgot the question I was going to ask you.
He's turning red.
It's a power of love.
Wow, I think he's blushing.
not take pictures.
Should have been here for the roast.
Oh, yes.
All right, we're going to hear from our contestants. Jonathan, you wrote down your favorite quote.
Yes.
Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer. Just tell us a little bit about that. Why that's important to you.
All these things in my speeches that I went through them, and every time that I would get to a very low place versus going to friends for advice, I found somebody that was actually had authority on the subject, and that was Wayne Dyer. And I always had a really negative perception of things that had happened to me from what had happened to me when I was young, and I started listening to Wayne Dyer, and I heard that quote, change the way that you look at things, and the way that you look at things, and the things that you look at will change. And it was like a light bulb went off that I always needed to be in gratitude no matter what was happening, and the seeds of positivity would start planting themselves, and my life would get more positive. And that is precisely what happened. It was always there. It was always there for me to see, but I just couldn't see it. And when I saw that quote, and he's got many, it changed everything.
Thank you, Jen. Stephen, a question about hypnosis. How about that? What have people come to you hoping to resolve? What kind of problems and issues?
I've been doing hypnosis over 25 years.
Okay, well,
So in that stretch of time, I've had people ask me pretty much everything, and I've tried just about everything at this point. So when you say, what do people come to me for? Take your pick. The most common thing people come for these days is weight loss. The next most common will be stop smoking. The key with hypnosis is that what I'm really aiming for, what it's really best for is anything that has an underlying emotional issue, of which weight loss, weight and smoking often do, so it helps with those. But generally anything, if you got fears of something, anxiety problems, or you've got memory blockage from traumatic events, anything that has an emotional root, and then pretty much all of us have some sort of emotional issues that could help you resolve, that's what it's best for, because hypnosis allows to get past the conscious wall that we build up, that we try to rationalize everything, which usually means distort everything. So we try to get past the distortion to what's underneath and resolve those issues, however that may be. If it means a change in perception, if it means just simply realizing what it is and going, oh, that's not so big a deal anymore, or coming to that idea that it's time for that epiphany you've been needing to get to. So it could be anything. Honestly, I haven't been able to find ways to apply it to just about any situation you want. But in terms of the most common ones, the more interesting ones are always more fun. The common ones are the ones that I give the most of.
I was going to ask Stephen if he could fix my dementia, but it's a pretty good excuse, so I think I'll keep it.
Help with your hip. What? Help with your hip, though.
My hip, he did help me with pain management. Thank you both. Let's have another round. Congratulations to all of our contestants who participated in the contest today. And those of you that didn't, I know where you live. There will be another contest in 6 months. We have a reputation at Central Florida Facilitators. So we've got to keep up the appearance that we are the greatest club in Central Florida. Before we have the awards, we have a couple of things to do. We have a lot of people that helped put the contest together, and I'd like to recognize the functionaries. I'd also like to reintroduce Lynn Ayers, introduce you for the first time, so you've already forgot if I introduced you, who will be coming around last call for the 50-50 raffle. And only she knows how much it costs, so. We have a lot of people, as I said, that helped with this contest. Oh, and Jonathan, and Steve is.
Oh, thank you.
This is your, not an award, your participation certificate. To our Sergeant at Arms, Charlie Bombalier. And Susan, Gloria Esteban and Susan Morgan for being our timer. Thank you so much for your assistance, Susan. Thank you, Gloria, for your assistance. And Gloria also managed our food, so take a bow, because that was a really good job. Lynn, here's your certificate, 50/50, thank you for participating and helping raise money for the club. Michelle Detlef, our thought for the day. Paul Detlef hasn't done his job yet, but as our area governor, he is going to present the award. And Sarah Hunt and Pat Steigner are ballot counters. Tabletop execs here. Signing them up. James Riggs, make the journey down here. Thank you, James.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Lynn's counting. Julian, help her count money or something. I'll do the 50/50 before. Oh, I do want to thank our judges who I am not allowed to name. Thank you all for participating in our contest. We obviously couldn't do it without you. And then there's Mark Lockery, the chair. Too proud to print himself a certificate. And then there's Toni Giddles. I'm not completely out of shape. Watch it. This is my personal trainer. The only reason I'm going back to the gym now after this illness is to catch up on all the stuff that he's been involved in. What's this? Moving in? Are you moving in with your girlfriend? Wait a minute. I have to catch up and get all the good things that I did.
I gotta keep the material for the future speeches going.
That was quick.
Well, it lasted longer than the last several days.
Yeah, oh yeah. He can no longer give his 51st date speech. Yeah, you missed a good one, Gloria. Come here. Okay, ready for, she's going to recount it. Let's get our bucket. We have tickets.
She's gonna certify it.
And she's going to certify it. Do we have to call Price Waterhouse or anything? And who would you like, oh, there's one exchange, okay. Who would you like to select the winner? Come on. The job's not done just because I gave you the certificate.
How much are we getting anyway?
Oh yeah, and how much are we getting?
$4.
We're getting that much? 24. Okay. Ready, guys? It's the red ticket, not the blue ticket, and not the yellow ticket.
Dang, what?
687 are the last three numbers. 687. You got it?
I have it.
Going out drinking after this or something?
Yeah, I'm fine. Where are we going? I'm fine.
Across the street.
Across the street. Chili's. Chili's, yeah. Oh dear.
And the trophies are Charlie, let's move to
Sorry, father ones.
It's okay. It's okay, Pastor.
Oh, thank you. Table topics contest. We're going to give a third place certificate to Linda Earls. The second place in the Table Topics contest goes to Stephen Morgan. Thank you. First place, wonder who that is. In the Table Topics contest goes to Julian.
You gotta show them off. You're on a roll.
Second place in the International Speech Contest, Stephen Morgan. First place in the International Speech Contest, Jonathan Dunn. I'm so important. Yeah.
Can we call him Chi-Chi?
Yeah. Julian, why don't you come up too?
There we go.
Hey, you have a 50?
I'll get over.
Yeah.
Back to the camera.
Do you need to come closer?
Okay. Gotta get back to the camera. There we go. Zoom in. You guys are on the smile. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all. We still have some refreshments, but prior to letting you get up and visit with each other and spend a little time with us, turn the meeting over to our president, Charlie Bondelier.
I want to thank all our guests and judges for your participation. It was an excellent, excellent club meeting here tonight, International and Table Topics Contest. I congratulate the winners also. Job well done. And there's not enough of us here or regular to actually do the next week's roles, so be expecting a call early this week, like tomorrow, because we need speakers, and we need evaluators, and we need everything. But you will get a call, trust me. I don't know what happened to Gloria. I think she may be sick.
Gloria, oh, here, you mean my,
Not Gloria, I'm sorry, Mickey.
Mickey, yeah.
Oh, no, she's working.
Oh, she's working tonight? I didn't know, okay.
Email retrieved.
I have the same symptom that Julian has.
These Cubans and their
Text
email.
these guys.
It's a Cuban thing. Is there any other business? Yes,
I
ma'am.
did forget to announce something. On the back of your programs, please note that the Area 42 contest is Sunday, March 15th at 1:30 at the Maitland Library. Our first place winners, we're expecting you to participate in that contest. If for any reason you cannot attend, please let our chief judge know, our chief guy.
Chair.
Chair. You're a chair? Or Mickey, let Mickey know, probably as our Vice President of Education, and she will notify people. As well as there's the Division D contest is Sunday, April 19th at Rollins College Bush Auditorium. Any of you that want to be notified about our meetings or activities, please let me know, and I will put you on a special Friends of CFF email list. Thank you.
And please feel free to stay with us. We still have some food and refreshments. And I don't know this, but I hear say there might be some wine left. I don't know where that came from, but thank you again. Meeting is adjourned.